Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers and Northside Patriots, the Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia, Alabama Sports Live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next.
And a good evening to everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Muskogee County Coaches Show. I am your host, Richard Holdridge from Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We have got two great coaches for you tonight. We got the Hardaway head football coach, Coach Ryan McKenzie, fresh off a big win over Greenville as Hardaway won the game 16-15. And then later on in the show, we've got the Northside softball coach, Coach Sidney Karastury. Let's go ahead and bring him on the show. It is the Hardaway head football coach, Coach Ryan McKenzie.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. First win of the season. I honestly, after seeing Hardaway in that Washington game, you could have won that game. I loved what Bobby Gary was able to do, throwing the football, running with his legs, and throwing 3 touchdown passes. Going up to Greenville, I know playing on the road, what was the preparation going into that game? Playing a team that's 2-0, by the way, and you were able to get the victory on the road against a tough Greenville team.
Yeah. I think for the week for us, after we played the Washington game and we was able to watch the tape, and the kids were excited, everybody was bought in. They came in on Sunday and we watched the tape, and we understood that we let one slip away, and not even just that one, even the game against Jackson the week before. We weren't playing our best brand of football, and we still not. But them coming in and being accountable and holding each other accountable and seeing our mistakes and saying, hey, coach, we want to be better. So we did that, came in, and just so happened we had to play Greenville, who has an unbelievable team. I know they're in the lower division, but, man, they got a couple athletes and a really, really good player over there. Number one, man, I tell you, he's something special, and Coach Sanders is doing a great job over there with those guys. And they played hard. They played extremely hard, and our kids, we just refused to lose, and we battled it out to the end and actually stopped them on the 1-yard line for a 2-point conversion to win the game.
Well, Coach, you're 1-2 on the season, and quite frankly, you could easily be 3-0. You had 2 close losses, a 24-14 loss to Jackson, and losing by 1 point to Booker T. Washington. The thing about this team is we haven't even gotten to region play, and the team is continuing to improve. The team is continuing to progress as a cohesive group. But what are some of the preparations, the practices going into your bye week that you're getting prepared for region play starting the season 1-2?
It's the same thing every day. We want to chop wood and carry water. We want to come in and just focus on the basic things. If we can block, if we can tackle, if we can pitch, if we can catch, and if we can run and identify key certain situations, I think we'll be fine. We want to make sure that we're sound on special teams. Want to try to clean up our kicking game and just trying to get better and just finding a way to where we can just get better every week. Even on the bye week, I love the way that we came out and we practiced today. We got another day tomorrow. We want to try to just make sure that we can continue to get better and get some reps and put some guys in some places to where we can be successful.
Coach, we know about your quarterback, Bobby Gary. He's had a fantastic season so far. Well, who are some of the other key players? Let's start with the defense. Who are some of the key players that's really made an impact for that Hardaway defense?
Right now we have Cameron Alexander, who's a sophomore as well. We have Jacoby Henry, who's a sophomore linebacker. Cam is a sophomore defensive back, and him and Bobby, and that was my first recruiting class, so we call them the Big Three. Those guys have played lights out. DeVaris Jesse on the D-line has been an unsung hero. Last week, Jordan Malone had a breakout game, and he had 2.5 sacks in Greenville against a tough quarterback who we couldn't get on the ground, but we did an unbelievable job there. Tristan Jackson has came on and did some great things. Travian Bennett has done great things. Our unsung hero and our team leader on defense is DT Taylor, he's steady Eddie. He's steady Eddie, and we got a lot of young guys, man, that just stepping up and just answering the bell for us right now.
Yeah, you definitely have a very young team, and what are some of the things that the team is going through right now as far as you get ready for your bye week? As you don't play a game this week, and then you get ready for a Thursday night game on September the 12th, where you will take on your region rival, the Shaw Raiders, who are also have a bye, and they are 1-2 on the season. So, what is the preparations that the team is taking with the extra week of rest leading up to the game against Shaw?
Understand how to handle success. We haven't won a game here in it was 12 games, and it's 14 if you count the scrimmages. So for us, it's learning how to win and learning how to be great. Number one, in the school building. We preach that every day. I don't care about wins and losses, but you're gonna be a great citizen and you're gonna do the right things in the school building. And I think in doing that, it translates, and we come in and we have a great day in the weight room, and we lift and we continue to get bigger, faster, stronger. And then on the grass, we need to lock in and just make sure we fine tune the things that we need to do to get better, our mistakes, and then looking at our opponent in a great Shaw team, which Coach Gardner's doing a great job with, and they've played some really, really tough guys. They could easily be sitting here at 3-0 as well. So we want to make sure that we respect them and respect everyone and just prepare and put the work in and let the chips fall where they may when we drop the ball on the 50-yard line.
All right, Coach. I mean, you got a lot of preparation leading into Shaw, and then you have some other region opponents. There's one game that I do want to talk about, and they're bringing back this classic. It's the Midtown Showdown against Columbus. Are they hyping up this event? Is it going to be held at A.J. McClung? I mean, where's it going to be? Because I know your athletic director, Coach Kendall Mills, is trying to hype this thing up. I mean, what is significant and unique about the Midtown Showdown, and why is it important to continue to have it here in this community?
I think it's great to get in the community because of the old Hardaway and the present Columbus. I think the alumni from Hardaway, and I've heard some stories. You can come in our school building and see a shirt in the school from Columbus and Hardaway's rival from 1984. And they just really hated each other, man. And I think they competed everything that they've done. And I think Coach Mills is doing a great job of trying to promote it. And I think it's going to be at Otis Spencer Stadium. And we want to just come out and play well. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to come out and play those guys. And I've had a chance to see Coach do his thing over there with those guys. And those kids play extremely hard. It's going to be a great football team. I don't care about records. I just think when you come out and you play football and you're playing with pride, people are going to come out and do things the right way, and they're going to play hard. So we're going to come out and give it everything we got and just enjoy the festivities leading up to it. And hopefully we can come out in the win column and etch our name in the history books with the great rivalry.
And by the way, the athletic director for Hardaway Hawks is Coach Kendall Mills, and the Columbus assistant athletic director is Coach Danielle McCoy. They are both on our show that we do, Office Hours, the real life of an AD. It actually airs every other Wednesday. So when we have our Muskogee County Coaches Show on Wednesday nights, they will be hosting Office Hours next Wednesday. And so I know that they're going to be talking about that, especially when we lead up to the Midtown Showdown. Coach, one final question I want to ask you is region play. Right now, Sumter County is 3-0. They are listed as one of the top teams in the region. Carver is 2-1. They just lost to Harris County, but you have Spencer is 1-2, Columbus 0-3, Shaw is 1-2. Do you feel like this region is wide open? That there's a possibility that Hardaway can maybe get that third or fourth seed, or do they know how the seeding is going? Is it based off rankings, or does the first four teams in the region automatically make the playoffs?
I think it's rankings this year. I think it goes by your strength of schedule and the amount of opponents you play in double A. That's why we played Washington early on, and that's why we scheduled Jackson. Both of those are double A opponents. So with that being said, we get a little bit more boost in the rankings. I think 5 to 6 teams can make the region. Make the playoffs from our region, depending on how it shakes out and how you do. But our region it's tough, man. Sumter is a country town with corn-fed boys that plays hard and been playing together since they were 3 and 5 years old. And Carver is the measuring stick, of course, in Columbus. Spencer played them tough, and they're going to Coach K does a phenomenal job with them. Even Jordan is competitive. Columbus is competitive. Kendrick has went up and won some games this year. Super proud of them and what they've been able to do. And Shaw is always steady Eddie. They played a powerhouse in Smith Station over there, and play Athens Academy, who's got one of the top programs in the state of Georgia in private school. And we're just trying to find our way. I mean, we think we're on the right path, and we're doing everything we can to stay competitive and relative. And I just think we're in a great region that can set us up for the playoffs, and we just have to handle our business and let the chips fall where they may, like I always say, and just focus on us and be about us.
Well, Coach, I hope that you and your team get very well rest during your bye week. I think it's very fitting that you're in the weight room, because that's really where the work starts to get prepared, especially for region play. Good luck against Shaw on the 12th. Hopefully we will be there for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you guys for having us. Appreciate everything you do, and go Hawks.
Absolutely. That is the head football coach of the Hardaway Hawks, Coach Ryan McKenzie. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have the Northside head softball coach, Coach Sydney Karastury, right here on the Muskogee County Coach Show. We'll be right back.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Football time! Set the tone.
Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes.
Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
And welcome back to the Muskogee County Coaches Show. What a great interview by Coach Ryan McKenzie of the Hardaway Hawks. And my next coach is an up-and-coming head coach of one of the top softball teams in the state. Please welcome to the show, first-year softball coach of the Northside Lady Patriots, Coach Sydney Karastury. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I am doing great. It's your first time on the Muskogee County Coaches Show. Just talk a little bit about your coaching background. We know you about your playing days at Missouri and then at North Georgia, but how long have you been a coach, and what got you interested in being a coach and now eventually a head coach?
Yeah, so this is my 6th year coaching right now. It's my 5th year at Northside, but my 6th year altogether. I coached my first year up at Grayson High School in Gwinnett County. That was back when there was still like 7A and stuff like that. So we were 7A back then. So 6th year coaching, 5th year at Northside, first year head coach, like you said. The reason I got into coaching, I guess, in the first place was because of my coach at North Georgia, Coach Davenport. He instilled the love for the game in me again when I kind of lost it for a little bit. And it's coaches like that who just showed me my passion for it and how much of a ministry platform it is for young athletes and the way that you can use coaching to pour into the younger generation. So that's why I became a coach in the first place. And I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. And like I said, I view it as a ministry platform. So that's why I do what I do.
And by the way, I want to give a shout out to your husband, Jonathan Karastury, who is the president of FCA. Does just a fantastic job with FCA in this area. And I know he's a big supporter of you, also a big supporter of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about the season. 10-2. One of those losses was to Harris County. You're going to end up playing them. It was in a walk-off fashion, but you feel confident taking on a Harris County team that's undefeated. But going through, and by the way, a lot of softball players from the championship teams have returned. You're the 2-time champions from 5A, but you're now in a classification in 4A. Have you looked at the landscape of some of the competition in 4A, and how does the season play out so far as the team is just continuing to progress and continuing to try to build to try to get that three-peat?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A lot of people might think, oh, you're going down classifications, it'll be easier, but that's not the case. I mean, 4A is tough. There's a lot of great teams out there, and no road to a championship's easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, like the old saying goes, but it's definitely tough. And it's one of those things where we know what's in front of us, and some of the different avenues to get where we need to go, but it's one of those things where you don't want to look too far ahead. You got to take it one game at a time. But I even talked to the girls about, winning every inning, just not letting, not casting their sights too far, just staying with what's in front of them, taking care inning by inning. And if you win every inning at the end of the game, you'll be obviously proud of what you did, and just kind of keeping that mindset going forward, not letting things get too big for them. I also talked to him too about not letting our advantage be our disadvantage. That's an Inky Johnson quote, just because, like you said, being back-to-back state champions, it's one of the, it could look like an advantage. We've got everybody returning from the state championship team, plus more depth that we've got this year on our roster, and just not letting that advantage be our disadvantage by becoming complacent. So that's a big thing with us this year that I've started from the get-go when I took over as the head coach, is just staying disciplined, trusting the process, doing the little things right, and not letting anything get too big for them, not putting too much pressure on themselves, and just taking care of what we know how to do. So, if we do what we know how to do, I think we can go pretty far, and I think we could hopefully win another one. We've definitely got the talent to do so, but at the end of the day, sometimes the ball goes one way, sometimes the ball goes the other way, depending on who you're playing, depending on who's hot at the right time, especially getting into postseason and stuff like that. But 4A is definitely tough, but once again, we take it game by game and do what we know how to do.
And I know that the goal is to get back to South Common Softball Complex, right, to win another state championship on your pretty much in your home city. I mean, it's a great feeling. Harris County is hungry as well, and they have Coach Brandon Jenkins. He was the coach at Northside. He's now at Harris County. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is the biggest rivalry in high school softball in Georgia, in my opinion. I mean, just the fan bases are both passionate. I do want to talk about that game coming up. Harris County is undefeated, but they will take on Northside. That game is going to be at Northside, and I'm excited about this game. I'm looking to see, yes, September 19th. Mark your calendars, everybody. Georgia Alabama Sports Live will be there for that game. That is going to be one of the biggest softball games on our slate. Coach, I do want to talk about your team, because let's start with your leading home run hitter from last year, Laurel Bird. I mean, she's picking up where she left off. 5 home runs on the season. Weatherly Ridley, we saw her on the mound. She looked fantastic. How about Abby Lovell? I mean, she threw a perfect game last year, and she's returning. You look at from top to bottom the team that you have on the field. What is the ceiling? I mean, does it look like we could try to win another championship? Alex, what's going through the team's head, and how tough an adversity is Harris County? Because they are hungry, they want to try to knock you off. But is there any other team besides Harris County in 4A that looks like a threat?
Oh yeah, I mean there's lots of solid teams out there for sure. You can't underestimate any opponent. But I mean, there's definitely some. I mean, Eastside's rocking and rolling right now. You've got North Oconee. I mean, Harris County. Obviously, there's definitely tough competitions out there. Even Central Carrollton in our region. I know they're a younger team, but they're up and coming. They're always well coached too. So you can never, overlook opponents for sure. But I mean, the girls, they're excited. They're ready. They love the competition. They love the environment too of the Harris County Northside games. I think we had like 500 or 600 people there when we played at Harris County. And it's always tough playing on the road too, for sure. And it being like an in-town rivalry. It's not just, like a region rivalry, but our girls play travel ball with their girls and they're all friends. And at the end of the day, that's good that they're all still friends with each other, even like with the rivalry going on. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, we prepare how we know how to. We do what we need to do to be successful. And once again, I just tell them too, like, just because it's a big rivalry game, you cannot let the moment get too big for you. If anything should fuel you, but not put too much pressure on themselves to defend the title. Because once you get in that defensive mode of I've got to defend, that's when you can start, things can start going south. So it's just about the whole, this is a new team. Yes, everybody's returning, but it's a new roster. Regardless, we've got everybody returning, but we've got new players. We did graduate one out. So not trying to live in the past and doing what we've got right in front of us, and having the same mindset regardless of who we play, whether we're playing somebody undefeated or whether we're playing a team that's not even 500. We've always got the same mindset going into the matchup of who we're against, that we're ready to take care of business and to use anything to fuel us. And I even try to tell them too, something that was like beneficial for me in college as a college player was figuring out how to lower your heart rate when you're playing. When the game gets chaotic, when there's outside factors that are even uncontrollable, like, you can't control the weather, you can't control the fan base, can't control umpires, all those things. As long as you can stay in control of yourself and figure out how to slow the game down for yourself, you'll always be successful as well in that. So that's just another thing mindset wise that they're trying to focus on, and having fun at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's a game, right? You want to get out there and compete, but you've also got to have fun doing it. So, we're excited. We definitely obviously got that date circled on our calendar, but it's always fun playing them too. It's always can go either way. They've got great talent. It's back and forth. It's there's a high emotions. It's obviously going against Jenkins too with him coaching with us last year. So it's definitely fun. Like, it's such a fun environment, and we're looking forward to it. We're preparing and just excited to play them again.
And that leads to my next question. You were an assistant under Coach Brandon Jenkins. He is now the head coach at Harris County. What were some of the things you learned from Coach Jenkins, and has he given you advice? I know that now that you guys are coaching against each other as rivals, but is there still just that mutual respect as that now he's at Harris County, you're taking over for Northside? What advice did you get from him, and what were some of the things you learned from him?
Oh, absolutely. He's great. He's like one of my closest friends too. He's awesome. I've got a great relationship with him. I respect him so much as a coach. And, I left Grayson and moved back home to come and coach with him. I was just excited about that opportunity just to be back in Columbus, but also, I took over this program when I was 5 weeks postpartum. I just had my baby. I was on maternity leave. Everything happened so fast. So he's been super helpful in this whole transition process, because at the end of the day, it goes beyond the game. It's also, coaching's a ministry for him as well. And he, at the point in his career that he's in now, he's talked about how even just mentoring up young coaches, that's part of his why as well. So, even when I was on maternity leave, I met up with him at Starbucks, and I was like, all right, look, like, I know obviously like the game and drills and stuff, but from a head coaching side, things I've not had to think about before, like, coming up with the budget, or what are you doing month by month as a head coach in terms of booster clubs and things like that. So we actually sat down at Starbucks. I brought my baby up there, and he kind of just gave me like a timeline of, hey, in March, this is what I'm doing. I'm ordering these things. I'm having these types of meetings. I'm reaching out to these people in April and May and June, and kind of just gave me like a month by month play-by-play of kind of what he's doing. And so that was super helpful for me, because it's one of those things, when you take over, it's like the parts of it that you haven't done before, it's like, you don't always know the exact timelines of when you need to be doing things. And so he was super helpful in that process. And, we talked on the phone the other day too, just even talking different strategies and situations. So regardless of us being like region rivalries and stuff like that, at the end of the day, like, we're still friends, and we talk to each other all the time, and he's a great friend to have, and I definitely respect him as a coach for sure.
And I definitely think that last regular season game on September 19th won't be the last time you face Harris County. I think you're probably going to face this team in the state playoffs, maybe twice, because it's double elimination. Right. I cannot wait, Coach. Before I get you out of here, just talk about just the program itself. There's a lot of fan support. A lot of people come to the games. You have just an incredible environment. A lot of people, they put their folding chairs on the rock, and they want to see Northside softball. What are some ways that the Northside community can support the softball team, and how they can come out and see the games and just the support, just what you guys are doing in general?
Oh, absolutely. I think it even starts with just our school climate and our school environment. We've got a great admin that really backs athletics, and they really, we got pep rallies all the time for all different sorts. We just have that environment within our school that supports athletics. And so our student sections, I don't know, I think it was not last year, but the year before, our student section won like student section of the year in 5A when we were still in 5A for football games and stuff, but it translates over into other sports. We've got a great student section that comes out there and they support us, great parent support. They love to be there. Like you said, sitting up there on that rock, they've got great views as well. It's just kind of part of the culture of our school. And then I think too, just the program itself, being as successful as it has been in the past, the community knows about that success. So even younger, like little league girls like to come out to our games, or younger travel ball players just to come and support. And it's awesome. It's great to be able to have that backing from the community, because once again, it sets the atmosphere, and it shows our girls I think it shows love to them because they put in so much work. Especially in the off season, like they are grinding it out in the weight room, doing training. It's like year round for them. They're constantly working. To have an atmosphere of support like that is huge. And it makes sports what it is, having fans that get hyped, love the girls. It's just awesome. So we love any support we can get.
Well, good luck, Coach, the rest of the way. Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there for many more softball games. You got a big tournament coming up at the South Common Softball Complex, and I know, Coach, that you're looking forward to trying to get back there again. Such a great interview. And thank you so much once again, Coach.
I think I lost connection.
No, it's fine. I just was mentioning, good luck, Coach. I know you got a big softball tournament at the South Common Softball Complex this weekend. Hopefully, you'll be able to make it back there in familiar territory as you get ready to try to go for a three-peat. We wish you nothing but the best of luck. And Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there to try to catch as many games as possible.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach. That is the Northside Lady Patriots head softball coach, Sydney Karastury. Thank you once again for watching the Muskogee County Coaches Show. I want to thank Thrift Barringer, the Hardaway coach, Coach Ryan McKenzie. Stay tuned. Next week, we got Office Hours, Real Life of an Athletic Director. We are back in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.